welcome. This is Spotlights. It's the podcast series for the Yale Forum on Religion and Ecology. I am your host, Sam Mickey, and I'm joined today by the Chief Administrator for the Forum, Tara Trapani. Tara, welcome.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure, especially because you have a perspective that's very unique. As the administrator, you have this kind of behind-the-scenes perspective about what the field of religion ecology is about, how the forum has developed over the years, and especially right now, all kinds of new things are happening in the forum, including this podcast series, blog, and one of the biggest things is this massive redesign of the website. So I want to hear a lot about that. But first, one of the things I'm always really curious about is how did you find yourself getting involved with the forum and more generally getting involved with the idea of connecting religion and ecology? Where did those come about for you?
Well, my undergraduate work was in comparative religion, and then I went to Yale Divinity School. And my last year at Yale was Mary Evelyn and John's first year. And I was in the ethics concentration, and I had them for a number of classes my last year. And by the end of that year, my focus had shifted very much from other topics to an ethical view of religion and ecology that had not really been a part of my consciousness before being their student. And I was so enamored by, that's a horrible word. They made such an impression on me that I ended up, completely shifting my focus, and they actually hired me before I ever graduated. So, and I have been with them for almost 14 years.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So then you've seen the whole development of the Yale Forum. Because shortly before that, I believe it was at Harvard. And then there was this move from Harvard to Yale.
Yeah. And they were still also somewhat at Bucknell at the beginning. And so, I've gotten to see it, not the entire lifeline time stream of the forum, but quite a large swath of it.
Nice. That's pretty great. And it's developed so much and just keeps growing. Because I remember looking at the website, even like 5 years ago, and it keeps growing. 10 years ago, it was just, there's already so much. That's the amazing thing. There was already a tremendous amount like 10 years ago. At this point, I think there's technically an inexhaustible amount of material on that website.
Yeah, well, the site keeps growing because not only does the field keep growing, but Mary Evelyn and John's own interests and work and engagement and collaboration keeps growing. So the site is growing in proportion to all of that.
Right.
We're doing our best to keep up.
Right. It's tough. Hard to keep up with that much growth. That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so what are some of the kind of new projects in general? Like what are some of the, you must see a little bit of all these different sprouts that are emerging. So I'm curious if you can kind of give us a little bit of a rundown. What are some of the new things happening at the forum lately?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, there's this wonderful Spotlights video podcast series. But we've also, at the same time, initiated, for the first time, a forum blog. The newsletter, curated by Elizabeth, is wonderful and goes out once a month, but we wanted to kind of branch out a little, be able to go into things a little more in depth, and, just offer some new, fresh content. So that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. And we've also started an advisory group, which is kind of, I think, richer and broader than the idea of an advisory board. It's wow, I don't know, we're up to now 75 or 76 people, I think, in different categories, both by religious tradition and topicals, such as climate emergency. And these people, we have a section on our site now resources from these people, how you can contact them if you're looking for a speaker or someone to write an article. But they're also informing us and helping us enrich the forum site. So they're bringing resources to us that, you know, may have not been on our radar specific to their tradition or topic. So that's, I think, is going to be a really rich resource both for us and for the religion and ecology community.
That's great.
So what else? Gosh, so much. The Journey site has had a complete redo. Devin O'Day did an amazing job on that. So everyone should check out the new Journey site. Also, we have a couple people now working on outreach for Journey in secondary schools. So they're going to be working on both training teachers and getting the word out and getting resources and materials. And I think Sam King is working on a new, kind of an updated and expanded version of the Journey curriculum, but really focused on secondary school education. So I think that's going to be wonderful when it's finished.
Right. Yeah. Get them while they're young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and the MOOCs, of course. There's a new series of MOOCs that are going to be coming out early next year, the massive open online courses. Like the Journey MOOCs, this is a Yale Coursera collaboration. But this is going to be focused on religion and ecology instead of the last one was all universe story, Journey of the Universe. This is going to be religion and ecology. So we're really excited about that. This is something Mary Evelyn and John have been working on for a long time. And yeah, we're really excited. We anticipate probably a February release, but we'll keep everyone updated.
Nice. That's good and timely, right? As everybody's kind of on lockdown these days, I think
Absolutely.
desire for some kind of connection and education, or even just for fun. I think more and more people are like, I wish there was more content out there, more online classes to take. So yeah, couldn't be a better time.
Yeah, and we want to remind everyone that the Journey MOOCs are out there and they are free to audit. And they're a great resource if you're looking for online educational content, if you're having to do a distance learning kind of scenario these days.
Yeah, I've had some students who, because I often show Journey of the Universe when I teach like environmental ethics, and I've had some students who liked it so much that they went ahead and took some of the MOOCs from it. They're like, oh, I want a little extra material. And I was like, well, there's these MOOCs. So yeah, it's just a great way to get more access to those ideas. Yeah, that's pretty great.
And it's self-paced, so
yeah,
so it really fits in with anyone's schedule and routine.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't feel like homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Just have to. Oh no, I have the assignment due tomorrow. Yeah, it's not quite like that. Yeah, a little more relaxed, a little more.
Yeah,
fun.
A joy, not an obligation. Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought education could be fun? It's such a simple idea, and yet our institutions have so much trouble actually making that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, I always found learning from Mary Evelyn and John fun because they're so vibrant. Yeah,
right. That's kind of what got me into their work, is the enthusiasm is contagious. And so many other academics, it's kind of the opposite problem. They're just so like bummed out about the world and just critical of everything. And like, that's great. We need critical thinking, but there's got to be some joy in what you're doing, and find some enthusiasm, find some hope, right? Yeah. It's right there. Well, the really big thing right now to me, when I just go to the forum website, I'm just shocked, because I'm like, this isn't the forum website. It's a really, really big redesign, and it looks great. So I'm wondering if you can kind of walk us through some of the new things that are happening there, what it looks like, how to navigate. What are the tips for people who are finding themselves on the site and want to kind of look around and click through stuff?
Sure, absolutely. I'll actually show you some things in a moment. But just to give you an idea, this is something that was in the works for a long time. It was in our consciousness that we wanted, because the site, the forum's been around for 20 years, and so has the site. So we've wanted to do this for a long time. but I don't think many people realize how big it is. The site has over 1,000 pages. So to move it all to a new platform and completely reorganize and restructure and edit everything on the site was a massive project. So we had to wait till we had the team and the space and the time to do it. So it took us a little over a year to do the whole thing from start to finish, from organization to execution. And it was a big job, but it was very rewarding. Because as I was working on it with our two tech consultants, Mike Slattery from Yale and Greg Hansel, who's independent, they were invaluable. We were all able to see the difference it was going to make, like in real time, right in front of us. And it was very nourishing for us because we felt like this was going to be a real service to the religion and ecology community. And that's what we really hope. That's what we really hope it is. That was our intention in doing it. So let's just jump in and I will show you. So here's the new homepage.
All right.
And you'll see about halfway down the homepage, every one of your Sam's wonderful FORE Spotlights videos that come out on Monday morning. The new one is always here, Monday morning. We also have another Sam Mickey project in the community. And then we feature some of our partners here. UNEP Faith for Earth, we started on May 4th, the same day that we announced the new site. We started a partnership with them, and that's been very fruitful. And we're actually going to have a blog post about that soon, an interview with their director. But here you'll see about us, and you can learn a lot more about the forum here. There's a lot more information about us and our history and development and our team. A lot of things that we didn't have before, so that we can really, both come alive to people. They can see who we are and what each of us are doing, and hopefully kind of uplift the people who are uplifting us, like the advisory group and our supporters. And yeah. So the largest section on the site is world religions, and that is organized similarly to the way it used to be, but there are so many more resources in each of these sections. So if I can just go to one of them. We have like similar categories, but in multimedia, you'll find that there's just so many more resources in every tradition than there used to be. More textual resources, more multimedia resources. We've just worked really hard to try to update everything and make it all really useful for people and user-friendly. That's been one of our main foci in doing this, is to make it easy to find things. So hopefully everyone who has been using the new site is finding that things are easy to find. If not, let me know. But hopefully. Then we have climate emergency, which we did have on the old site, but we've really uplifted it and made it center stage and added a lot more resources to it. That also we have a lot of multimedia on the site now, whereas on the old site, it was primarily textual. We have a lot of interactive video, audio resources that we did not before. So pretty much every section here has multimedia resources in it. That was a big commitment that we made in the new site, that we really wanted to boost the multimedia content, and I think we have. We've added a lot. Laudato Si is next, and again, we've got textual, we've got multimedia. I think, Sam, I think you redid this wonderful frequently asked questions section. That's got, that I think is of use to a lot of people. I think it's really, really been useful to people. And we will be adding a section on Fratelli Tutti as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's coming up in the next, yeah, probably in the next month. We'll have that added. Publications, kind of straightforward. But again, we have added a lot to each of these sections. In resources, there's a lot of wonderful stuff here, but the one thing I really wanted to highlight is the video section under resources. We've put a lot of energy into really building up all of these subcategories, especially religion and ecology. You'll find that religion and ecology has a bunch of subcategories of its own. Mary Evelyn's talks are enough to, you know, fill a whole website in and of themselves. There's so much. But you can really find, like we were talking about, you know, a lot of people are having to continue to do distance learning. And you can find a huge amount of multimedia content that is hopefully of great use to everyone's students. I'm trying to get over to that page just so I can show you a little taste. My internet's a little slow today. But yeah, so we have them all chronological, starting with the most recent. And there's a huge amount. There's literally, just in the religion and ecology section alone, hundreds and hundreds of videos.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a huge amount. Here she is. Now we can see her. But we have, in the Thomas Berry section, we have things going back to the 1980s. With Mary Evelyn and John's content, I think we have things going back to the early 2000s. So it's also really interesting for anyone looking at the field as a whole to be able, you can actually kind of trace the development as a field, looking at the different appearances that Mary Evelyn and John made and the different speeches they made, which I've found really fascinating as an archivist and someone, you know, with an interest in historical preservation. I think it's actually kind of a really interesting time capsule into the field of religion and ecology.
Right, that's really remarkable. Yeah, and that makes sense. You know, that Mary Evelyn and John both always speak about these issues in such a way that you're really learning a lot about what other people are doing as well. It's never like just about them. So I would imagine then you're getting the sense of who's who and what are the new topics over the course of like the last 20 years. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, they're very generous and collaborative. So everything they do is kind of pulling in different strands and threads from other people in the field. So yeah, it is really interesting. And just so everyone sees it, here under resources, under video, if they miss your wonderful Monday spotlight video on the homepage, they're all archived here. So people can always find past episodes here.
Very nice.
News is the same wonderful up-to-date content that Elizabeth McAnally is always providing us with. She really keeps our news and our events sections robust and up-to-date. So if you have any events, send them to Elizabeth and she will post them for you. Again, my internet's a little slow today. But yeah, it's, as we've always wanted it to be, the news and events section are hopefully of service to the community, because I know they are a lot, especially news is a lot of work for her. I mean, she just combs, I don't know how, she's amazing. She gathers these news articles from a wide variety of sources. And yeah. And so we think that all just kind of happens magically. It doesn't. It works really hard to make it happen. And then at the end here, we have our news section, which we're pretty excited about. which is the new forum blog. And you can see this is today's post. Because it was Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday, we did a couple features on Indigenous engaged projects. And on Tuesday, I know you do something about, here we go, about each Monday Spotlights video on Tuesday, a little insight into that. So yeah, please check out the new forum blog. We're pretty excited about it every Tuesday and Thursday. Just one other thing, I mean, that's pretty much the site. Although once you go into each of these sections, you'll see how much is in each of these. There's quite a lot. But hopefully we've made it, like I said, easily navigable. The one other thing I just wanted to bring people's attention to is the Yale Forum on Religion and Ecology YouTube channel. A lot of the multimedia content that appears on the site appears here, but there's even more here. You can see some of the playlists. We've shared things from partner organizations like UNEP and the Parliament of the World's Religions. And we're constantly adding new content here too. So hopefully this is also, I think this is a resource that not a lot of people know about. I don't think a lot of people know that the forum has a very active and robust YouTube channel. So hopefully people will check that out and subscribe as well.
Definitely. Yeah, because there's so much extra stuff there beyond just what's on the website. And there's so much on the website. So it's easy for somebody to be like, I'm sure it's all the same stuff on the YouTube channel.
No,
like, nope,
it isn't.
even more. Yeah.
Like, for instance, in the Thomas Berry section on the site, I think we maybe have 15 videos, but I think there's probably close to 60 videos on the YouTube channel, both of Thomas and about Thomas.
Oh.
So in some of the sections of the site, we've just kind of given a sampling, and then we say, go here to see more. So if you go right to our YouTube channel, you'll find there's quite a lot. So
that's great.
Nodding.
Yeah, no, that's so impressive. And just I like in general how much multimedia has come to the fore, right? There's so much, like, I think when people think about studying religion, they think about books. They think, oh, right, studying religion, if I'm going to learn this stuff, it's going to be all books, journal articles, and increasingly, like, no, there's plenty of videos to watch, plenty to listen to.
And I didn't bring attention to it, but you probably saw as I was popping around the site, we gave a lot of energy to the imagery on this site because we wanted it to be engaging on multiple levels and for, different learners. And so we did invest a lot into, we had so many people who gave us so many amazing images, ARC and Interfaith Rainforest Initiative and UNEP and the Sacred Land Film Project and a lot of individual scholars. So many people gave us a lot of amazing visual content. So that allowed us to be able to kind of take the site out of this purely text-based place and really make it, I think, a lot richer and more engaging.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, it reaches such a bigger audience that way when it appeals to different senses, different ways of learning. And yeah, that's perfect. I know my friends and students who work with us definitely appreciate it. There's only so much like book time people can handle. At a certain point, it's just nice to see a face to put with the name. It's like, oh, I'm always reading these texts by these people. What did they sound like? What would they look like? What was their style? You have to have a little bit of sense of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. Well, I want to hear more stories from you since you have such an insider perspective on the forum. I think we'll have to leave those for another time. Okay. Special episode for story time.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I know there's more there. But for now, it's just really nice to hear about what all is happening at the forum, and especially just introducing people to what this new website looks like and how to navigate through it. And the challenge that we're asking people to see if they can get through the whole website, which is probably humanly impossible. One lifetime doesn't quite have enough time in it.
Right, there's a lot of material there, so
Yep.
I'm not sure that's possible. But it has been an amazing journey these past almost 14 years. And yeah, we're really, really excited to bring these new projects to everyone and this new site. We really hope it will be a service and a help to the religion and ecology field and community. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that seems like a good note to end on. So, Tara Trapani, thanks for being on the show with us. And thanks to everybody for tuning in, if you're watching or listening. And we'll have some more stuff for you next week. In the meantime, take care and be well. Bye.